So friends, there's no two ways about it. We have a crisis at the Supreme Court. Let's talk about it, because justice matters. Hey all, Glenn Kirshner here. So friends, let me try to say this as clearly and directly as I can. Clarence Thomas robbed the American people of our right to a conflict-free Supreme Court. Here's the new reporting by ProPublican. Headline: Billionaire Harlan Crow bought property from Clarence Thomas. The justice didn't disclose the deal. And that article begins, in 2014, one of Texas billionaire Harlan Crow's companies purchased a string of properties on a quiet residential street in Savannah, Georgia. It wasn't a marquee acquisition for the real estate magnate, just an old single-story home and 2 vacant lots down the road. What made it noteworthy were the people on the other side of the deal: Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas and his relatives. The transaction marks the first known instance of money flowing from the Republican mega donor to the Supreme Court Justice. The Crow Company bought the properties for $133,363 from 3 co-owners, Thomas, his mother, and the family of Thomas's late brother, according to a state tax document and a deed dated October 15, 2014, filed at the Chatham County Courthouse. The purchase put Crow in an unusual position. He now owned the house where the justice's elderly mother was living. Soon after the sale was completed, contractors began work on tens of thousands of dollars of improvements on the 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home, which looks out onto a patch of orange trees. The renovations included a carport, a repaired roof, and a new fence and gates, according to city permit records and blueprints. A federal disclosure law passed after Watergate requires justices and other officials to disclose the details of most real estate sales over $1,000. Thomas never disclosed his sale of the Savannah properties. That appears to be a violation of the law, 4 ethics experts told ProPublican. Quote, he needed to report his interest in the sale, said Virginia Carter, a former government ethics lawyer, now at the watchdog group Crew. Given the role Crow has played in subsidizing the lifestyle of Thomas and his wife, you have to wonder if this was an effort to put cash in their pockets. And friends, what ethics expert Virginia Carter was referencing there about how Harlan Crow was subsidizing the lavish lifestyle of Clarence Thomas and his wife, Ginny Thomas, that's based on some earlier ProPublica reporting that you probably saw about how Crow, this, billionaire Republican mega donor, was lavishing millions and millions of dollars worth of private jet trips, luxury yacht excursions, $5,000 bottles of wine on Thomas and his wife. So let me say it again. Clarence Thomas robbed the American people of our right to a conflict-free Supreme Court. And friends, there seems to be little doubt. Clarence Thomas violated federal financial disclosure laws. And this is not a victimless crime. These are not victimless ethical transgressions. These are not victimless violations of federal law. This is Clarence Thomas enriching himself by exploiting his position as a Supreme Court justice. If Clarence Thomas wasn't on the Supreme Court, would Harlan Crow, this hard-right, mega Republican billionaire donor, would he have been lavishing millions of dollars on Clarence and Ginny Thomas for these luxury vacations, private jet trips, yacht excursions, etc. If Clarence Thomas wasn't a Supreme Court justice, would Harlan Crow have bought properties from Clarence Thomas, including his mom's house and other properties? The house in which Clarence Thomas's mother lived at the time of the purchase and still lives. And if Clarence Thomas wasn't a Supreme Court justice, would Harlan Crow have dumped tens of thousands of dollars into improving the house where Clarence Thomas's mother lives? In a very real and direct sense, improving the lifestyle of the mother of a Supreme Court justice. The lawlessness of Clarence Thomas must be addressed. Friends, when Merrick Garland became Attorney General, he promised he would do everything he could to rebuild the public's faith and trust and confidence in the Department of Justice after Bill Barr damn near killed it. Well, Attorney General Garland declining or refusing to investigate Clarence Thomas for what seemed to be obvious violations of federal law is not the way to go about rebuilding our confidence in the Department of Justice. The ultimate indignity is not what Clarence Thomas did to the American people. The ultimate indignity would be if the Department of Justice refused to hold accountable Clarence Thomas for what he did to the American people. Investigate the crimes of Clarence Thomas, because especially when it comes to a compromised Supreme Court justice, justice matters. Friends, please stay safe, please stay tuned, and I look forward to talking with you all again soon.